Hi there. This is Madison Morris, and I'm just going to share real quickly some of the things that I found most helpful in this module. To start, I found that it was just really a good overview and kind of jogged my memory on a lot of things I learned during my didactic program in undergrad. But when you don't use these things, I feel like you do lose them, and obviously, a nutrition-focused physical exam is not something we're doing every day, so it was wonderful to just be able to review the basics of that and the basics of screening for malnutrition, and just to kind of get a refresher on that. One of the things I found in particular, just a little bit more helpful was this nutrition-focused physical exam study guide. And again, just an awesome, wonderful general review. One of the aspects of this I found really interesting was these different physical exam techniques. So inspection, palpation, percussion, and oscillation. I never, in my didactic coursework, we never went this in depth with it. And perhaps it's because it was a distance program, but also I think the nutrition-focused physical exam is kind of I don't want to say controversial, but I know some dietitians think it's helpful while others think it's not very helpful, and can also just be a tricky thing to navigate and implement, and not all patients are comfortable with it. So it's also like, how practical is it? Can we actually implement it? Or do we need to become really good at using all our other tools? Because some patients are not going to volunteer for this or be particularly open to it. But I thought that this inspection, palpation, percussion, oscillation, these techniques were very interesting, and I liked that it went into more detail on all of these different techniques, and it kind of reminded me of just like sometimes how a doctor will do these things as well. And so I almost wish I had more exposure to that or more training to that in my program, in my didactic program. I think it would have been wonderful to get a little bit more exposure to this. But again, I know that nutrition-focused physical exams are kind of I don't want to use the word controversial, but they kind of are in the dietetics community, from what I can gather from dietitians in the field, that they avoid them if possible. If they're not necessary, you don't want to put a patient through it. But then at the same time, it can be a great screening tool, and really allow us to get a holistic picture of a person, to look at their hair, to look at their nails, to look at different areas on their body for fat or muscle loss. And so they can be a wonderful tool, but at the same time, I know we have to approach them with care. So this was the main document that I found most interesting. The videos were also very helpful resources to just kind of get to refresh on all things nutrition-focused physical exam. Thanks so much for listening.